Okay. So Chris Hughes used to be with Facebook and is now calling for Facebook to be broken up. He says it's gone too big. It has too much power. Elizabeth Warren has sort of said the same thing. So, let's see. Will they succeed in breaking up Facebook? Who owns Instagram? I want to know why Twitter tolerates Donald Trump. That's what I want to know. It won't tolerate Alex Jones, but it tolerates Donald Trump. So, let's see. Facebook. Knight of Pentacles. Here's your reliability, your money. Cross with the Queen of Swords. A legal matter. Ace of Pentacles. I think, well, let's keep going. Because so far, new outlook with the Hangman. Judgment. Two of Pentacles. The Hierophant. Five of Pentacles. Page of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. So, the reliability, the money, the methodical nature that is big business. It has legal and financial protection. They can buy enough politicians, they can buy enough influence to where they can be Comcast, Disney, AT&T, just buy up the world. You can't stop them. You can't stop Facebook. Now, only people who can stop Facebook are the people who use it. But they still own Instagram. So all this of it will eventually fade. Just like MySpace and Google+. But, Hangman. There's an outlook that has to change. It's about the way you do business. The Judgment card about the way that the past is always coming back. Like I said, Disney, AT&T, they buying up everything. You can't stop them. You didn't stop them. Because here is the sort of juggling in the chaotic environment, trying to balance out things. And then there's the government and the fear. So the biggest opponent of Facebook is the government. Everybody else doesn't really care because we don't notice these things because they don't directly involve us, not affect us, but involve us. Like when HBO can, because like Bill Maher, for instance, on his show on HBO, I noticed he sat at the table one day and was criticizing the pharmaceutical industry and was saying, why don't they take some responsibility and this and this and this. And then he went to the panel for a discussion, and the panel gave him the politically correct answers. Why? Because all three of them work for entities that have pharmaceutical advertisers, because they were all in television or some sort of print media. But they all have advertisers that are of the pharmaceutical industry. And I think Van Jones was one of the people in this. He was the first one to speak, who said that there has to be some sort of personal accountability and personal responsibility. And, basically don't take the pills if you don't need them, is what he said. And while that is true, what we were discussing is not personal responsibility, but we were discussing why don't the pharmaceutical industries take any responsibility for the opioid crisis. Then he shot to the panel who have advertisers on their television shows that have pharmaceutical advertisers. And so you have now AT&T who bought HBO. HBO didn't have any advertisers, so they can say whatever they wanted to, including things about the pharmaceutical industry. I don't know if that will continue now that they're owned by a bigger conglomerate. So Facebook can do things to affect your daily life, but these sort of mergers, these sort of behind the scenes things that they do don't involve us, so we don't really pay attention to it. This is why the government, who is paying attention to it, is their biggest threat. Because they can go and buy up some things and then change the way that thing runs. The Five of Pentacles is in the environment. So this is, right now there is a sort of a push to, this feels more of a Mark Zuckerberg thing, like they're really trying to get at him more than they are trying to get at Facebook because of his complicit nature with the Russia thing. Page of Cups. So there is something on an emotional level, so that's why it feels personal to me. It feels like when he went and testified, when he went to Russia, he wore a suit. When he met with Obama, he wore shirts and jeans. So it feels more personal, like they have something against him personally, which, I don't care either way. I don't even have a Facebook, so anymore. There's the Wheel of Fortune. Something is inevitable. It will change for either the good or the bad, depending on how this goes. But as of right now, it's inevitable that it will be broken up. I think the influence is what Elizabeth Warren is trying to tackle. Not necessarily the business of Facebook itself, but that they can change things and they can change the narrative of the country with their platform. So, watch this space.